Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield video. So this is going to be a little bit different today. It's going to be kind of ranty, so just a heads up. So basically what we're going to be talking about today is, it's an opinion piece by myself, and it's going to be focusing on the paid mods, specifically the Bethesda paid mods. So Bethesda recently released their next kind of batch of paid mods. They added the water-cooled miner outfit, which there should be a review out of it today. Cool little outfit, 400 credits, a bit pricey. They also added the Allied Desert Camo Pack, which adds 7 new weapons, I believe. Which is kind of cool. But yeah, so Crimson, what's the point of this video? And I'll tell you the point. So paid mods in general, it's a very controversial topic because there's quite a few people out there that believe that mods should be free, and for the most part I tend to agree with that. But a lot of people don't realize that what Bethesda, or what I envision Bethesda was attempting with paid mods, and in my opinion what they were trying to do, at least with Starfield, with the paid mods, was to kind of offer an avenue for independent modders to basically make mods and get some sort of revenue behind it. Now, obviously, this hasn't always been the case with the creations. Like in Fallout and in Fallout 4 and Skyrim, they were basically just kind of, usually with the creations and stuff, they were kind of like assets from other Bethesda titles. And they were quite cool, but to be fair, I don't remember the pricing too much, but I don't think they were that egregious. Now, Starfield is another kind of kettle of fish. So when the paid mods came out, Bethesda released a couple of mods that they had made, and then they released some paid, some free, and then they also released some like independent modders who made mods. Now, obviously, we're going to be focusing on the Bethesda mods. So, the first mod they kind of released that was kind of controversial was the Trackers Alliance, the Vulture, and the Ancient Mariner module. So, the Trackers Alliance, the Vulture, part of the reason the controversy stemmed from that was that Bethesda had added this new Trackers Alliance faction. So, they were already in the game, but they basically improved upon them. They gave them a kind of a lodge-esque headquarters and missions and stuff, and they had this really cool bounty board, and they did a really cool mission. And once you complete the mission, if you wanted to keep the style of, you know, like hunting down specific named targets going, you had to buy the Vulture bundle. And it was originally, I think it retails at 700 points, so that's about €7, or $7, probably like £5-6. But the issue with this is you have to, unless you had the free credits, you have to basically pay $10 to get it. Now, this is something a lot of companies do. I'm not going to specifically shame Bethesda for doing it. It's a practice most companies do nowadays. It's just an easy way to kind of make you spend more money than you have to. It's a business practice. They're a business at the end of the day. Whatever. Which we will be kind of remembering that when it comes to certain stuff. But the bundle itself, the Trackers Alliance bundle, to be honest, it was for €7. It was basically 2 missions that took probably 10 minutes to complete. That's if you're playing on the higher difficulty. And it came with a new sniper and 2 reskinned outfits. Now, the first kind of issue with it is that its mission pacing wasn't anywhere similar to the base Trackers Alliance mission, which I feel like a lot of people were a bit, let down. Like the initial Trackers Alliance mission, it was kind of like 2 missions and it had like a cool combat scene, like very interesting, Now this one had an interesting kind of mechanics, but it was very short. And the big stick behind it, or the big thing you want, is the gun. So it adds, if you're familiar with the Nova Blaster, the Nova Distributor? That's not it. That's a gun from Halo. Basically, you're kind of paying, the pack is really, you're paying for the gun. Now, it came out a couple of, probably 2 weeks ago, almost a month after this pack launched, that they had initially intended this was just supposed to be a kind of a weapon slash clothing pack, that they decided to incorporate some storyline to it to kind of, you know, tie it all together. And personally, I think that that was a bad idea by Bethesda, because it set a very bad precedent where is every new mission now for like this new faction you added in, is it going to be paid? And I don't think that was Bethesda's intention. But obviously we don't 100% know. They've talked about and they've said that they're aware of everything. But yeah, generally the consensus was, while it was a cool gun, it wasn't really worth the money. Now, in my opinion, I don't think it was worth the money, just because the pacing was completely different to the initial mission. I feel like if they're gonna, you know, have this big trackers alliance, you know, like the whole premise, it doesn't say like gun and clothing pack. The whole tagline is Trackers Alliance the Vultures, so it should have had similar pacing, but it didn't. Now, the other kind of pack that kind of drawed some controversy was the Ancient Mariner module, and this is another pack that Bethesda added. Now, the difference between the Tracker Alliance and this one is this is a purely cosmetic pack. It doesn't add anything to improve the gameplay. Well, kind of. There's an asterisk there. It kind of does in some ways, but we'll get into that. So basically what it does is it adds we can see here, I could actually click that and show you. So yeah, that's what you got. The gun, kind of cool gun. So the module, it has a 2x2 module with a custom interior. There's an empty and a non-empty version, and it has 22 new decoration items. Now this ends up, I think it was like, this is €10, which, to be honest, I don't think it's worth it at all for that price. Again, this is this personal opinion. A lot of people agree. Some people are fine with it. Some people like it, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, this video isn't an attempt of me to bash anybody who enjoys the content that Bethesda put out and buys them. You know, I'm not, like, at the end of the day, it's your money. You do what you want. This is just me kind of, it's like a rant slash kind of like an opinion piece. Yeah, but personally, I don't think it's worth it. The only real thing in this pack, and it comes with 22, you know, unique items. But to be honest with you, it's like, why couldn't you just include it in the base game? Like, this is Bethesda here, right? Like, it'd be different if it was a third-party modder or an independent modder. Like, you look at some of the other paid mods, you've got the, let me just shoot real quick, we'll look at them. We have, where is it? Like, we've got Elitech Aerospace, Crimson Fleet Habs. I believe that one's only like, oh, that's a bug. I don't know why that is. I believe that's only like, it's either 400 to 600. I do apologize, but I know it's not nowhere as expensive as the price. And then we've got another one. I'm trying to see if I can find it. It's probably not going to be here. Skinthetics is another one, another cool one. It adds a mechanic it adds a unique kind of little kind of a dungeon to the game where you do a little quest. You get a cool little mechanic at the end of it. Really, really cool. Star Sim, another one, awesome. Luxury homes, awesome. But when you get to the Starfields or the Bethesda stuff, it's just, yeah, like, I don't think it's worth the price of 10. And like, Bethesda have already came out and basically said, look, we're aware of the pricing of like the Vulture pack and stuff, and hopefully going forward they will kind of understand that. Now, we did get the water cooled miner outfit today, which was 400 credits, which again, it's a single item of clothing that looks cool. I will say, even though it shows a male wearing it, it's not really meant for a male. You can kind of tell, like, just looking at the kind of the chest piece, it's meant to kind of accentuate a woman's kind of physique rather, whereas if you look at the man's, you can kind of see it's very blocky. I feel like this was not intended to be female, and Bethesda just was like, all right, we'll make it male, like, you know, unisex, just because we don't want to limit, you know, the price of it. People would be more inclined to buy stuff it was for both characters. Again, this is one of those things where it's completely doesn't affect gameplay at all. It's an outfit with some unique, kind of semi-unique perks. Now, there's a couple of funny caveats with it. One of the things is it says it's water cooled and it's a mining outfit, but it actually, the thermal stat that all clothing has thermal, radiation, oh, what's the other one? It's like cold and EM, I believe, potentially. Forgive me, but it doesn't actually have zero thermal, so it's clearly not water cooled, which is kind of funny because there's been this kind of thing with Bethesda where they've been putting out these kind of paid mods and they've been making these errors. Like the Trackers Alliance, the Vulture, when the mod came out, you couldn't reload the gun. You had to basically unequip and re-equip the gun to get it working. Another one is this Starborn Gravis suit, a really, really cool suit. It looks awesome, I'm going to be honest with you, and it's free. It's completely free. But it doesn't work for my character because if you go through the Unity, it's not in the lodge, and I don't know how to spawn it in. If you're on console, you can't spawn it in. Now, there was some mods that tried to fix it, but they got taken down because they used to just crash. This is a free mod, but still, it's like, Bethesda, what are you doing? Like, you're releasing content, and it doesn't even function properly. Like, they have some free stuff, these free skins, and these are quite cool, you know, these are pretty cool. The observatory, to be honest, I bought it, but I haven't used it. It's kind of cool, but I'm not a big outpost person. Constellation plushie set. It's not really my thing, to be completely honest with you. It's not my thing. Oh, there's a Korra. That's actually kind of cool. It's not really my thing, but it's just a weird one. Like this is one of those things where doesn't add anything to the gameplay at all. So it's not like the Trackers Alliance where they're trying to kind of continue on a storyline. That being said, why not add them to the game? Like 76 does that thing, and 76 gets a lot of shtick, but one of the things it does kind of well when it comes to stuff is generally how it handles its microtransactions and its like updates. Like usually whenever there's a new update, they'll add like new camp stuff as well as have stuff in the Atom Store. And one of the big things about the Atom Store at 76 is, you know, you like it or hate it, you can earn atoms in game without paying a single, you know, dollar or euro. Now obviously this is not the case in Starfield, which makes sense in a way. Another pack they added, which to be honest I'm kind of okay with. This is a desert camo pack. It adds this camo pack for a couple of weapons. Now, initially I was kind of like, I would have preferred if it was all weapons, but as you can see there, it's meant to be for just allied arms, which is all of those, which is kind of okay. Still think the price is a little bit too much at 300. I think I'd much rather it be like 200 or maybe 150. Just because, like, let's say for instance, if there's two packs come out and you buy let's say you buy the 500 credits, you can only buy one basically. If you need more, and obviously that's a kind of a business practice. Like I was saying there earlier, like a lot of companies will do that. They'll be like, oh, this costs 700, but you need to buy 1,000. Okay, you've 300 left over. Oh, maybe you want this, but it's 400. Now you have to buy more. Like that's just a constant thing, and that's not on Bethesda. Well, it is because they chose to do it too, but it's not like Bethesda didn't create it. Like one of the things I see people kind of like reference in the comments whenever I cover paid mods is like, oh, Bethesda started with the horse armor, and you are dead right, they did start it with the horse armor. But I feel like while they did start it, if you look at how kind of microtransactions has what they've turned into nowadays compared to back then, like it's kind of like, yeah, it's spiraled. Like that, all that kind of rant aside, and kind of going to the kind of the meat of this video is like, well, Crimson, like what are you proposing? Like was the point of this just to talk and rant? And some of it was, yes, but see, again, this is just my opinion, but I personally think that the creations tab should be just for the paid mods from third party independent modders. So modders like the people, if we go here, like Cookie Morph, who makes Synthetics, or Coronian Games, who makes Creations, makes Star Sim, or Tank Girl, who makes the Homes, or Eleonora, or Noctium, Mystic Madman. Like these are all quite cool. You know, like, I feel like the creation should be for modders to make paid mods that Bethesda have a control over, so that some control. So like, you know, someone's not basically shit housing it a little bit with paid mods. Like, it definitely should be something that Bethesda, you know, like kind of endorse. Like, so far, most of the paid mods, like the ones I've covered on the channel, generally speaking, have all been fair. Pricing is always a weird one, but when it comes to it being an independent modder, you can kind of be like, okay, like, I don't mind, you know, like if something's a little bit pricey for something. But when it comes to Bethesda, I think it's, yeah. Like, I personally think that when it comes to creations and stuff, I think that Bethesda's creations should be free, or like free additions to the game. Like, see how we have the the Blackout Drumbeat skin, the Blackout Shotty skin, the Gravis armor. I think they should all be free or extremely low price. Like, the Constellation plushie set, I'm not going to buy that for 300. I might buy it for 100, maybe, just because it'd be nice to add some plushies on the ship. Kind of cool. Again, it's one of these things where it's like, you've added, like, what have they added? 5? Why not go the full mile? Why not add Vladimir or Walter or, oh, what's her name? Is Noelle, yeah, or Noelle or Mateo. Like, why not add them as well? Obviously lower the price, but why not add them? Like, this pack here, it's probably the only thing I can, like, understand Bethesda doing. Like, if you want to sell me skins for weapons, fair enough, you know, that's fine. It adds absolutely nothing to the gameplay at all. My guns are there, it's a GG. I don't need it, but if I want it, it's fine. With these plushies, it's kind of a different story in that, yes, it doesn't add anything to the gameplay at all, but it's like, it's extra display stuff. And you may think to yourself, oh, but Crimson, you don't need to display them, and I don't. But like, when it comes to the outpost kind of builder and stuff, like, generally, like, it's kind of bare bones as is. Like, yeah, you can go and find objects and place them in the world, but that can be a bit finicky. Just noticed Sarah has, like, a really whimsical... She's like, oh, I'm judging you. Anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Like, I do think that... I do hope that Bethesda, like, will kind of address, like, things in the coming months. Like, we won't know until we get another, like, paid mission DLC, so it'll be interesting to see if Bethesda choose to do another kind of like the Vulture pack, but obviously make it cheaper, or if they just opt against it completely. Because I don't mind them doing a premium pack necessarily. Like, I wouldn't have minded if the Vulture was priced a little bit lower and added, like, more content. Like, I feel like if you're going to charge, like, you know, a $5, it should at least be like an hour of content, you know, like, so maybe like 2-3 missions, a weapon or 2. But yeah, like, that's pretty much it. Obviously, we weren't focusing on the verified creators, which that's another pet peeve. The way the creation is laid out is, you'll excuse my French, it's an absolute shit show, to be honest with you. Like, you've got verified creators, which is like, okay, cool, we can, like, see the verified modders, but then Bethesda's in the mix. It's like, why are you part of this, Bethesda? Like, you already have your own fucking thing here. Why do you need to be here too? Like, pick a lane, please. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, that being said, I don't have any issue with, well, saying that. Like, if you've watched any of my videos on some of these, like, some of these, the kind of the paid mod made by independent modders, I personally don't, I think they're all very cool. You know, some of them not necessarily a big fan of, but that's just because it's not really for me. Other people enjoy it, you know, like, pricing, I think, is perfectly fine. You know, obviously, it's early game yet, so we don't really see much. There's a lot of, like, people kind of, like, you know, like, okay, we're doing this and we're promising this, and that's, you know, like, obviously, I kind of wish that, you know, they wouldn't do that, but at the same time, you know, the creation kit's not out long. They haven't had access to it for very long. They've had it for, like, maybe, like, a month before it, like, launched. But that's pretty much it. That's, like, rant aside. I'd love to know your guys' opinion. Like, do you agree on any things I'm saying? Do you disagree? like generally when it comes to paid mods, because I did like a little post before about paid mods, and generally, and obviously this is going to be skewed because most of my community generally is quite open-minded with a lot of stuff. You know, there's not a lot of the kind of the hate that Starfield usually gets. It occasionally happens, but generally most people were okay with paid mods. Now this was prior to the kind of the mods expanded, so I would like to know, like, has your opinion changed on the paid mods, specifically the Bethesda stuff? Like, do you guys have a kind of a similar mentality to me where, like, you know, like there is a hard line between like the paid mods by Bethesda and paid mods by independent modders? Or like, do you kind of see them all as one and the same? And then when it comes to that, like, are you fine with the pricing, or do you think they should kind of change, like with the regards to the Bethesda mod? And even if you know, think of the other ones, so I know I'll probably get a lot of comments and people will be saying, you know, paid mods aren't worth it, and that is a valid response, you know. And to people who say that, it's like, well, you don't have to buy them. Like, there is a lot of awesome free mods here. Awesome, so, some kind of questionable, but mostly awesome. So like, you don't have to buy paid mods, but some people might, you know, some people might like to support their favorite modder. But yeah, that's pretty much it anyway. Hope you guys enjoy the video. This was a rant, I do apologize, but I feel like it needs to be said just because I am a big fan of Bethesda, and I've kind of covered it. I talked a little bit briefly about it in the Vulture mod, but I feel like they've stepped down a kind of a path that's a bit, you know, at the end of the day, they're a business and they can do what they like, and I don't think anything I say or anyone else will change that. But it's just something I feel like, you know, hopefully there might be someone out there listening that might be like, you know, he's got some valid points. Probably not. They're probably like, this guy's a fucking idiot. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.